What's up, guys? Today I'm going to talk to you more about my dropshipping course. It's good for me to do these videos because I realize that, some of you don't know I have a course. Granted, every description shows a link to the course that you can get for 20 bucks, but I've realized now that, wow, I could definitely sell this course for like $200 or $300 and make way more money, but I don't want to do that. I want this information to be available to people for an affordable amount of money, no matter where they live in the world, no matter what they do, okay? So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what the course currently looks like and what I'm adding to it, okay? Because I am currently living in Nicaragua, but in less than 2 months, I am moving back to the States. I'm moving back to the States on April 9th, so that day. So that's less than 2 months away, about 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks away. Okay. By the time I move back to the States, I'm going to add a couple more updates into the course. But before I talk about the updates, let me just briefly overview what the course has so far. So it starts off with an introduction. And this is just basically I overview the course just like I'm doing in this video right now and talk to you about what the best way to use the course is. Because this course isn't a step-by-step guide about how to set up a dropshipping business. Because honestly, there are tons of those available. There's even free courses like that available. It's really not hard to find that information, so I didn't feel like it was relevant to put it into this course. The idea of this course is every time that I learn something about dropshipping, I come back into the course and I make more kind of professional, more to the point videos about what I'm learning on my YouTube channel. So I do a bunch of YouTube videos, obviously, and you can find all the information in the course on my YouTube channel, but you have to search through it, you have to go through a lot of content, and it's nowhere near as organized. So the course is a much more organized way to experience that content, and it talks about most of the major points that I talk about in my YouTube channel. And I'm always updating the course and going through it and making it better and better and better and better, right? So it starts off with an introduction, just showing the course, how to use it, to understand that if you want to succeed, it's all about the way that you think. It's not about following a guide exactly as someone else has, because if you follow someone else's path, the reality is that you are a unique individual. If you want to change the way that your life is, you have to figure out how to do that by learning as much as possible and applying it to yourself. It's not as simple as just following A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then making it work for you because it worked for someone else. The reality is what works for you is going to be slightly different than what works for other people. And the only way that you can figure out what works for you is by exposing yourself to as much information as possible and then figuring out what you enjoy and what makes you really passionate and what you love, right? So that's why in this course, I'm not showing you a step-by-step guide to set up a dropshipping business. This course is a resource that anybody who dropships will benefit from, whether you're brand new into it or whether you've been doing it for 2 years, because every time I learn something new, I put it in the course, okay? And so the second section is mostly for people who are brand new. And this is a couple of conversations that I have with Marcus Augustine, who runs a channel on YouTube called No Bullshit Dropshipping. Yep, right here. Now this is one of his videos, but this is his channel, No Bullshit Dropshipping, and he's a pretty big YouTube channel for dropshipping content. Considering he covers exclusively dropshipping content, he's 14,000 subscribers. Good amount, right? All right, so I have a couple conversations with him, just talking about basic things related to dropshipping. So if you're new into dropshipping, then this isn't really something that matters, right? But then after that, we have a section on international shipping with Ebay Gsp. And when it comes to dropshipping, there is nothing that will change your profitability as much as offering international shipping through GSP. And the reason I say this is because all that you have to do differently is click a button. You just literally have to click Enable GSP, and that's it. That's all you do. And then that's going to increase the size of your business by 20 to 40%. Boom, right? And yeah, you can be like, oh no, but then I'm going to have to deal with international returns and yada, yada, yada. Look, guys, most of the world isn't like the States. The United States people are really used to this really, they can return something whenever they want, and then the customer service thing. That isn't true in most other countries. Most people are just happy that they actually received an item similar to the item that they got. international return rates are drastically lower than return rates for domestic US sales. So it's really, really worth doing unless your business is exclusively 120-volt electronic products. Anytime you're selling an electronic product, you have to understand that overseas they use 240 volts. So your 120 volt US product isn't going to work overseas unless the buyer has appropriate adapters and whatever the electronic term is for diffuser. No. Yeah, you need an adapter, which enables the physical plug to work, and then you need a box. I don't know what the word is for it. I'm forgetting right now. And that box changes the actual currency from 120 to, or the current from 120 volt to 240 volt. So if you have both of those things, then you can make the product work. But the reality is most buyers buy your item and they just assume that because you offer international shipping that that's going to work. So as long as you avoid that, everything else is fine. And I sometimes have to fully refund people because it's not worth having them ship the item back and then me returning it. But honestly, guys, like in 1,000 sales, I may have to do that like 2 times. Granted, that's 1,000 regular sales. So, okay, we're talking about like 300 GSP sales, maybe 1 or 2 of them I have to fully refund. If you are scared of using GSP and you do not sell electronics, you are limiting yourself. You are bottlenecking your business, and you are 1 click away from 20 to 40% more sales. Just do it. See how it is. Take that leap, okay? So that section is all about GSP. And then after that, we have a section called Understanding eBay. And this is all about like what you need to know about customer service and how eBay account limits work and how to get them raised, how the different source subscription works, UPC codes, unpaid items. A lot of this is about like automating your feedback so that you don't get customers messaging you being like, I left you feedback. Why didn't you give me feedback? I want your feedback. Give me your feedback now. Okay. And then we talk about like enabling GSP, how to keep your account above standard, what makes your account below, all of that kind of stuff, okay? And then after that, we have a section on PayPal. And this includes everything that I know about PayPal. And I did add this section, okay? So this includes the 3 main limitations that PayPal can place on your account, and then a way to work around a rolling reserve using something called Kabbage business loans, okay? After that, we have a section about profitability. And this covers the concept that, okay, if you are interested in e-commerce, you've probably looked at other people's courses, and the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to show you numbers because they want to convince you that they're worth listening to. But here's the thing with that mentality. Like, you have to understand that when it comes to dropshipping, you need to expose yourself to as much information as possible because there are a lot, and I'm talking about most of the people who provide courses and services, most of them at one point were really profitable, now have become less profitable, and they've realized that they can earn so much more money so much easily by just convincing people that this stuff is great and it's going to change their lives and getting them all hyped to buy their course. And then the reality is they're teaching stuff that used to work but doesn't work as well anymore, okay? So I want to be really upfront with you and tell you, look, if you want to change your life and you want to earn money this way, you got to expose yourself to as much information as possible. And understanding profitability is really important here because it's really, really, really easy to produce sales that don't produce any money. Anyone can do that. You can offer an item that's going to lose you $20 every time it sells, and it's going to sell like hotcakes, right? But you're losing money. But the reality is that when you do that, you're going to produce sales, and then you can just go to your ebay.com, right? And then you can go over here, and then we can go click on selling. And then you can click on this and be like, yo, look, I'm selling $1,000 to $2,000 a day. You should do everything that I tell you, and you should buy my amazing course because I got all this money coming in. But the reality is that it's very possible to be selling $30,000, $40,000, $100,000 a month and not be making any money. It's actually quite easy. Right, really, really easy to produce numbers that are going to convince people to listen to everything that you say. So don't fall for that. If somebody is telling you a number to try and convince you that they're worth listening to, understand that that may be tricky, okay? You really need to expose yourself to multiple different opinions. And that's why I encourage you to not just listen to my YouTube channel and don't just listen to me. While it's true that I am different, I'm much more honest, and I'm not obsessed about profit like most dropshippers are. I'm obsessed about information and exposing information to you guys. Don't just listen to me. Listen to other people. Develop your own opinion based on exposing yourself to as much information as possible. All right? So, and the section about profitability is about that concept. It's about how, like, you have to understand that profitability is different from sales. You could have a business selling $100,000 a month that's making nothing, and you could have a business that's only selling $10,000 a month but's making $4,000 a month, which is a lot of money, right? I mean, that's almost $100,000 a month. Okay, no, it's 3/4 of that. It's $60,000 a year, right? Which is a lot of money. I said month, but I meant year, right? So then the rest of that is about how to increase your profitability if you have an existing dropshipping business. And this is because there's a lot of simple changes that people can make who already dropship that they don't. Like, they don't use cashback, they don't use gift cards, they don't, like, those two things alone are what a lot of businesses make all of their money on. And there's a lot of dropshippers out there who think, okay, it's all about making money on the sales, but you can actually break even or lose money on the sale and make $100,000 a year just by using gift cards and cashback. So it's really important that you understand that. And then also, I have a section about reseller sales tax exemption. And this is something that a lot of people don't talk about, but as a reseller, you have the ability to eliminate the sales tax that you pay in like 40 of the 50 states when you use Walmart.com and Home Depot and some other suppliers. So by doing this, you can really up your margins, and you still have to pay the sales tax that you are like legally obligated to pay. And I'm not an accountant, so don't take any tax advice from me. But what that basically means is that when you ship an item into the same state that you exist in, then you have to pay sales tax on that state. But when you ship an item from like Vermont to Hawaii and you live in Virginia, you don't have to pay sales tax on that. So there's no reason that your retailer should charge you. Okay? After that, we have a section about figuring out what kind of items to post. And I think that this is really important because most people, when they begin, they just have so much trouble figuring out what to post. And they spend way too much time wasting time thinking about what to post. The reality is, if you're dropshipping, you should be watching videos and you should be posting items. If you are doing those two things and you integrate that into your daily routine, you will find success. It's not about how much money you earn right now. It's not about how much money you earn your first month or even your first year. It's about your ability to make dropshipping related things a regular occurrence in your life so that you earn as much as possible or you learn as much as possible, and then you just see, oh, this is all I need to do. You expose yourself to that information, you apply it into your life. The reality is, even if you earn $100,000 in the first month, yeah, that's going to motivate you and you're probably going to end up being successful, but only because you're going to end up integrating dropshipping into your life on a regular basis because you see that you're worth it. That would never actually happen. You know, you are not going to earn $100,000 your first month. But my point here is that don't obsess about the money, because if you obsess about profit, you're going to become blind to a lot of other things. And then you're going to look at your profit as a determinant of your success. Okay. And then that is going to stop you from putting in the work necessary to really change your life. It's going to be hard, guys. And I don't even say, like, people say it's hard, but it really isn't that hard. You don't need to like work your ass off all day. Remember, work smart, not hard. There's a difference here. And honestly, you only need to do like 30 minutes to an hour of life-changing work per day to change your life. You don't need to work all 8 hours. You don't need to work 15 hours a day. There's a bunch of people who are going to tell you that. But let me tell you something. The only reason that they're telling you that you need to work your ass off and they're calling you lazy is because they have to justify to themselves that all of the time and effort that they've put, all of the hours that they've wasted being inefficient and unproductive are worth it. And the only way that they can justify that is if they convince themselves that the only way to find success is to work all day, right? The reality is, when you work all day, you often actually only get 1, 2, maybe 3 hours of work done. The rest of that, you're just kind of being inefficient and not doing your best. So all you actually need to do is those 1, 2 hours of work that changes your life. And honestly, even 15 minutes. If you spend 15 minutes a day changing your future, within a year, you're set. You're golden. You may not have the future you want, but you're going to know exactly what's necessary in order to obtain that. Okay? After that, we have a section on sources and suppliers. And this is all the different sources that I use, and I actually need to update this because I now use Amazon way more than I used to. And this is just about like what the difference is between some sources and suppliers. For example, like some sources allow you to ship GSP, other sources don't allow you to ship GSP. Okay, it's important to understand. And the main thing is basically, do they allow freight forwarders, aka GSP? Do they allow cashback? And do they allow gift cards? That's basically it. All right. So after that, we have how to create eBay listings. And this is just 3 ways to create eBay listings. And it's kind of, I use Hydra Lister to accomplish all of these tasks, but I talk about the concept of manual listing, semi-automatic listing, and automatic listing. What most drop shippers do is semi-automatic listing. And this is when you use software to post optimized listings and you spend time on each individual item, and the software kind of speeds the process up for you. As opposed to manual listing, when you're doing everything yourself, you're copying the photo, copying the description, making your own listings, how most people start, obviously. Honestly, I don't think manual listing is ever necessary anymore. There is so much software out there that makes your day easier. Like DSM Tool is a great tool for beginners because it's free for 50 listings. And the reality is a lot of people start learning about dropshipping and never post more than 20 listings, don't get any sales. So that works perfectly for them because DSM Tool is free up to 50 listings. So you can just use it and you don't have to pay any money. Great, amazing. You should always be using software. There's no reason to manually list items anymore. Manually listing was something that people used to do like 2 or 3 years ago, but back then there wasn't as much information about dropshipping and there was nowhere near the amount of variety in products. And like, don't get me wrong, some people are going to try and convince you that there's only one piece of software that's available that is the best. The reality is, look guys, we are at an age where dropshipping is much more well known. There is so much software out there, and it's not even a matter of figuring out what's best. It's just a matter of opening your mind to the fact that there are multiple options. You can afford to be picky. You should try out different software and, move forward that way. Okay. So after that, we have information about my approach, which is the bulk approach. And this is an important key here because this course isn't about bulk dropshipping. It does have information about bulk dropshipping if you're interested in it, but I designed this course thinking about, okay, I want this course to be a place that anybody can go to learn as much about dropshipping as possible, regardless to what method they use, whether they want to use optimization or bulk or sniping or anything, right? So I'll talk more in this section about the bulk approach and kind of what makes it different from optimization and how you can do bulk properly, okay? And then after that, we have running my eBay business model, okay? And so the way that this is very similar to bulk because obviously I operate a bulk dropshipping business, but this first section is about how to run a bulk dropshipping business and the things that you need to learn, okay? Whereas this section is literally me just showing you the work that I do every day. So I have a section covering the 3 main branches that I do, and then I show you the work. I literally show you 1 day's worth of what my day looks like, okay? Then moving on, we have the software section. And this is designed to expose you to the fact that you have options. There are so many different pieces of software that you can use for dropshipping, and this is becoming more and more true. So every time that I learn about something new, I add it into this course, okay? So I have information about Pricematik, Infinii, variations, Update Ducks, Session Buddy, SkuGrid, Google Sheets, Sublime Text, and surprisingly, I don't have anything about DSM Tool. That's going to change. I'm going to add more information into DSM Tool because I now believe that DSM Tool is the best dropshipping software available for beginners. And this is because it is free for you up until 50 listings. And the reality is most of the people interested in dropshipping are not going to continue and retain their interest. They're going to lose interest and move on to something else. So for these people, you want something that is free that they can use, right, without having to commit any kind of money. And then if they are able to continue and enjoy that, then you can commit money, right? DSM Tool is the only thing that really allows you to do that. Other tools, Hydra Lister, all sorts of stuff, they have free trials, but they only last like 7 days. DSM Tool you can use as long as you want, as long as you only have 50 listings or less, and it's free, right? And that includes repricing, that includes a bunch of stuff. So it's honestly one of the best options out there for beginners, and I'm going to add more into that. But I'll wait till the end of this kind of overview in order to talk about what I'm adding into the course now, because like I said, this is an ongoing process. This isn't just something I made in the past and then I've forgotten about. I'm continuously improving this course and adding everything that I'm learning on my YouTube channel into the course, okay? So that's the main part of the course. After this, we have some guest sections. So we have a section from Becky, whose channel is on YouTube, Broke to Boss Girl. Okay? You can find it right here. And Becky is a UK-based dropshipper. There you go. So you can check out her channel. And she does a section in the course where I talk with her just about some of the differences, the main differences between dropshipping in the UK versus dropshipping from the US. Okay? And now then we have a section from Carlos. And Carlos's channel is Amateur Dropship Guru, I think. And his channel is all in Spanish. So if you are a Spanish speaker, then this channel is one of the best channels to subscribe to. And actually, he has changed it to Carlos Carranza, which is really interesting. I'm glad he changed it to his full name instead of amateur dropshipping guru. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to move back, and he did a section here that's talking entirely in Spanish. And this is just for some people who, like, obviously if they bought my course, they probably know English because, you know, it's an English course. But if they're more comfortable in Spanish, then this section talks about the realities of, like, if you are a Spanish speaker living in the US, what you need to learn in order to get involved with dropshipping. And if you are a Spanish speaker living in Latin America, what obstacles you're going to face when trying to get involved in dropshipping. Okay. After that, we have just the final video, and that shares some of my affiliate links, which I have a bunch of, obviously, and then also just like a congratulations, you finished the course. Okay. So now that you understand what the course contains, let me talk about what I'm going to be adding to the course over the next couple months. Okay, so there's 3 new sections I'm going to add. I'm going to add a section on optimization. All right, and optimization is the concept of, it's what most dropshippers do, where they put a lot of time, or pay someone else to put a lot of time into individual listings to make them more likely to sell. Okay, and optimization is more profitable than bulk, but not if you look at a time spent point of view. If you have the time to spend, then you can run an optimization format, learn to outsource your work, and then it's great, right? You're going to earn a lot of money. Optimization is the most tried and true traditional form of this kind of like modern dropshipping, right? Whereas bulk is still more experimental. It's something that really caters to me as a person, and it makes me learn as fast as possible. But the reality is that if you need money now, then optimization is the better route to go. And I talk about optimization in this course, but I don't really talk too much about it. So I want to dedicate a whole section to how to optimize your listings and really, really, really understand what makes a proper eBay listing. Okay? So aside from that, we're going to do the section on optimization, and then I'm also going to add a section about modern bulk, okay? Because I have a section about bulk, and then I have a section about what I was doing at the time I made this course, but the reality is that I didn't make this course for people who wanted to get into bulk dropshipping, because at the time, I viewed bulk as like, well, yes, it has changed my life exponentially and has enabled me to be completely free. It's not something that I would encourage other people to do because it's much more risky than optimization. If you really want to earn money dropshipping, you should do optimization, right? Not saying you can't earn money from bulk. You definitely can, but it's harder, much harder. And like, granted, with the information, if you're taking this course, it's not much harder because you don't have to spend the years that I've spent trialing things, failing, and doing things over and over because I'm showing you all of that, right? But the reality is I didn't make this course to show people how to dropship in the bulk format. I made this course to give people a resource that they could use to become better dropshippers, regardless to whether they were new at dropshipping or they'd been doing it forever, okay? So I'm going to add a section specifically for people who are interested in starting bulk. And this is going to show you what the best way to go about it is. And long story short, you need to focus on operating at 10,000 items. And you need to do that profitably before you try and scale. Because if you scale past 10,000 items, you can get really wicked large insertion fee bills. Unless you're based in eBay US where there's unlimited insertion fees. In which case, I don't know why you optimize. You should do bulk because it's just like, there's no insertion fees, so you may as well post millions of items, right? All right, so we're having that section on optimization. We're having a section called modern bulk about if you actually want to do bulk as a dropshipping strategy. And then after that, we have a section that I'm adding about, what was the third section I'm adding? Adding optimization, bulk, obtaining gift cards, cryptocurrency, I think. Wow, I don't even remember what the next one was. Sorry, I've been sidetracked by the course, and it's made me forget what I was going to add into it. But I'm going to add some more information about gift cards because I now really understand that as an international buyer, your biggest obstacle is going to be the fact that you don't have a U.S. billing address. This is going to make it hard for you to place orders in the U.S., right? But you want to sell into the U.S. because it's the biggest market. But you can work around this, and I've now learned more about how it is that you can work around this. What it boils down to is cryptocurrency. And if you know you want to take the course and you're an international person, don't let that stop you from buying the course. Like, I have information in the comment section of the course. So you can go into, let's see, if I go to instructor, and then I go to my course. Once it loads, and I go to Q&A. Okay, this Q&A section, you can search for questions, like search for a keyword, and then it has a question that somebody asked, and then it has my response or someone else's response. Okay, and so this information, there's a lot that's been added to the course since it first started, and this is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So there's a lot of information that isn't included yet in the course, but is included in these comments here. And if I don't know exactly how to accomplish what you want to accomplish, then I will direct you towards some resource that shows you. I will tell you where you need to go or who you need to listen to in order to learn that. The idea of this course is that it is a place that any dropshipper can go that has tons of different information about dropshipping. I want this to be the definitive dropshipping course that talks about as many different strategies as possible. And now that I've mentioned that, I remember what it is that I'm going to add into the course. So there's a couple of different formats. Like I talk about optimization and bulk, right? But that's just kind of your choice in how you spend your time. The reality is that what really makes your business different is where you get most of your profit, okay? And so one thing that makes some businesses different is that you can lose money on a sale and be profitable, which is a hard concept to understand. Like, wait. I can sell an item that costs $90. For $90, pay my eBay fees, lose money, and make money? Like what? That's doable. The reason for that is because of cashback and gift cards and cryptocurrency. You can get some really insane discounts with cryptocurrency. And all that you do the dropshipping stuff for really is to just create cash flow, right? And so like I was talking about earlier in this video, it's really easy to produce non-profitable sales. So you can do that. You don't need to understand anything about e-commerce and understand what sells. You just have to create the sales and fulfill them. And then you have cash flow. And then you can use cryptocurrency to change all of that, right? To monetize that cash flow and make money off of the cash flow, not off of the profit. And then you have the more traditional dropshippers, where they are making money off of the sales and the profit from the sales. And so I'm going to talk to you guys about how you can use different strategies. Ultimately, what your business boils down to is where you earn most of your money. And just because you're losing money on your sales doesn't mean you're not profitable. There are businesses that lose money on every single sale but make $100,000 or more a year. So don't underestimate this shit. It's really, really, really just a matter of what you enjoy and what you are interested in, and learning to apply that into your life on a regular basis. That is the single thing that's going to change things most. Okay, so I really thank you for taking the time to look through this. I hope this encourages you to check out the course if you've not been interested in it before. I'm not trying to convince anybody that this is the best course, but guys, this course is $20 using my coupon code in the bottom of the description. I guarantee you're going to have a hard time finding as much information that is packed into this course for $20 anywhere else. I could easily sell this course for $200 to $400 a month, or sorry, $200 to $400 on my own personal website, and I could be rich, and I could just do that. I wouldn't even need to dropship anymore because I've learned enough about dropshipping. I could just sell this course to people, tutor people for $1,000 a session, but I don't want to get into that. I want to always focus on being able to provide information to those people who can't afford the other stuff. And I don't want people to get scammed. I don't want people to think that you have to drop $1,000 to change your life. You can drop $20 and expose yourself to a roadmap of all the information you need to find other free information and find other good courses and change the way that you think so that you can change your life. All right, guys, if you like this video, subscribe. 61% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed, so my goal is to get that number down to 60%. Yeah. All right. See you next time. Ciao.